You need to watch this video if you're thinking about using breathwork for healing trauma, because I'm sharing 4 things that a lot of people, especially breathwork teachers, are not talking about when it comes to using conscious connected breathing or circular breathing for emotional release. As someone who has had a lot of trauma in her life and is a recovering codependent, I know what it feels like to just have all these feelings inside of you and to numb the shit out of them, because I did it for years. I numbed everything for years. If we haven't met before, my name is Francisca. Thank you for being here. I am the owner of Breathe, Connect, Thrive, a healing studio in Houston, Texas, where I help people release deep emotions through conscious connected breathwork, replenish their mind, body, heart, and soul in restorative yoga, and get some validation and clarification through personal self-discovery tarot readings. I offer these services both in the studio and online. If we have met before, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. But I do love talking about breathwork and tarot when it comes to emotional healing or healing trauma. So your healing journey is unique to you and your experiences in life. No one has lived the life that you have lived. Yes, people may have lived some shared experiences with you. However, your perception and your emotional regulation system and your nervous system is completely different from someone else's. So I know I'm supposed to tell you that breathwork will solve all of your problems, but the truth is that it's bullshit. Breathwork will not solve all of your problems. It won't solve all of my problems either. But what breathwork does do for me and most of my clients is to help them release these deep emotions. But just because it works for us doesn't mean necessarily that'll work for you in the same way. So your unique healing journey is your own. You have your own special way of healing. And I have said this so many times, and I will keep saying it because it's so true. What works for me might not work for you. Breathwork might not be the thing for you. However, breathwork has helped my clients release these deep emotions. Breathwork has helped my clients heal trauma, heal from grief. Like I had one client who lost 3 family members within the span of a month. And it was hard for her, and we worked through it, and she's now on the other side of it, like trusting herself, trusting her intuition. And the best thing is she's learned to forgive herself and to forgive a lot of people in her life. And it's really helped her shed a lot of things and move forward. I've had clients who've used breathwork to help them clear creative blocks, or use breathwork to help them leave unfulfilling jobs and really trust their intuition. And I think what most people get out of breathwork, especially working with me for an extended period of time, is trusting themselves and trusting their intuition and really finding the courage to listen and follow their heart's desire. So your healing journey is unique to you and your experiences. If you're like, I want to find out what my healing superpower is, then you'll want to take the breathwork quiz. So second thing that you need to know about using breathwork for healing trauma is that it's not going to feel the same every time you do it. So when I'm talking about breathwork specifically in this video, I'm referring to conscious connected breathing. And I love using conscious connected breathing for emotional release and healing trauma. Conscious connected breathing is a breathwork technique that you do typically laying on the floor with an open mouth. And what we're really doing is we're stressing out the body. We're stressing out our nervous system. Our breath regulates so much stuff in our body. It regulates our body temperature, it regulates our blood pressure, it regulates our heart rate, but it also regulates our nervous system. And when you're breathing in and out in an open mouth, with an open mouth, breathing in and out in this pattern for anywhere between 25 and 30 minutes, it's going to cause the body to get stressed out. And what you're really doing is you're increasing your resiliency and you're increasing your ability to handle stress. And that's why breath work is so crucial to use continuously if it's right for you. Again, going back to that first thing that I said that you needed to know about breath work, it may not be for you, but if it is for you, if you do find some benefit, then I do recommend that you do breath work on a continuous pattern for as long as it takes for you to heal from whatever it is that you're healing from. You're going to get something different every time. It won't always make you feel euphoric. You won't always feel enlightenment. You won't always feel clarity and love and peace. But typically, usually, people feel that somewhere throughout the breathwork practice. So sometimes when we're doing breath work, especially if you've been doing it for a while, you've done it repeatedly, breath work can get boring. And I know that a lot of breath work teachers out there don't want to say this, and they don't want to tell you that you may feel frustrated when you do breath work. But I think it's really important for you to know that, especially if you're using it to heal trauma, because if you are working on getting rid of some emotions that you have stuck in your body, if you're working on clearing some shit out and really uncovering all these layers, if you stop when breathwork gets boring, if you stop when breathwork just doesn't feel like it's doing anything for you, I really think that you're missing out. There has been lots of times where I'm like, I'm okay, I don't think I need breathwork anymore. But then something happens in my life and I'm just like, okay, let me lay down and do some breathing, and lo and behold, I get this wave of clarity. I get this wave of intuition that hits me. I mean, if I had decided not to use breath work after my mom died, I would probably not be sitting here making this video in this beautiful studio that I have because I saw it in breath work. Could I have gotten here any other way? Probably, but I may have doubted that opening a studio so soon after my mom died and right around the time that I was getting ready to leave my job, I would have doubted it. I would have doubted it had I not seen this place in breathwork, which takes me to another way that breathwork is different for everybody, because I visualize in breathwork. Not everybody visualizes in breathwork. Not everybody feels euphoric. You're going to get something different. We are digging into the emotional, the physical, the mental, and spiritual parts of our body. And when we're getting into those parts of our body, we can all experience something different. So it will feel different each time you do breath work. You won't feel the same thing. And that's what you need to know when you're using breath work for trauma healing. These patterns that we go through, like our mind wants to make sense and understand theoretically like what it is that the body's experiencing. But trauma doesn't just live in the mind, it lives in the body too. So if you can get in the body, get all these feelings and emotions out, and really peel back these layers, that's where the healing happens. And you're the one that's doing the breath work. So I'm not healing you when you come in and see me for breath work. You're the one that's doing the breathing. You're the one that's healing yourself. So no one can heal you. You're the one that heals yourself. So that's another thing that you need to know about using breath work for trauma healing. The next thing that you need to know about using breathwork for trauma healing or emotional release is that it is not immediate. I kind of hinted at this before in the previous tip that I was talking about, but it is not immediate, especially if you have some deep-seated stuff going on there. You can talk to therapists, you can talk to a coach, you can talk to friends, you can try to get all this stuff out, but there's only so much that we can do when we're talking about our trauma, when we're talking about these things, these patterns that we have going on inside of us and these experiences that we've had. The people that I've seen transform most are people who stick with breath work. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you have to do breath work weekly for 4 weeks or whatever, and then you're going to see results. Everybody is different. This goes back to that first point that I made. Your healing journey is specific to you. No one has lived a life that you have lived. You have your own unique way of healing. And because you have your own unique way of healing, really you're going to be the indicator of how often you need to do breath work. But if I'm really being honest about it, I have seen people get the most transformation out of breath work from anywhere between 8 and 12 sessions. After working with clients, again, I've worked with hundreds of people doing Reiki, doing breath work, doing restorative yoga, doing tarot readings, and I use these all as a healing mechanism. So anything that I do when I do a session is geared towards healing the body, healing the mind, healing the spirit, healing your emotional self. And when I've seen people transform the most is when they do breath work on a regular basis. They keep coming back to it. They keep peeling back these layers, really uncovering their energy so that they can get into alignment with themselves. I've heard people say things like, I don't think I'll ever find joy again. I don't think I'll ever forgive myself. I don't think I'll ever release these blocks that I have. But they do when they go through breath work. So I've also done breath work in rehab centers where people are like, I can't do this shit. Like, I'm out. Like, they're not ready to face whatever feelings they have in their body, because this type of breathing practice really does get you into your feelings. Like, the body stores all this stuff, the traumas in the body, and so the body remembers all these things. So when you get into this pattern of breathing in and out through an open mouth, the mind gets shut off. The mind has something to focus on with the breath. And so it's almost like the breath takes over. And at some point, you may not even be in the conscious state where you could realize that you're actually laying there breathing. And so the thinking mind kind of dissipates and gives space for the subconscious mind to rise. When this happens, your body is breathing and your mind and your emotional body is somewhere else. And when this happens, you have the ability to revisit trauma, which can be really scary for people. So when you're doing breath work and you keep doing that, what happens is you understand that the trauma that you're dealing with isn't that scary. And so you're able to kind of go back and revisit it. Now, I'm not saying that you'll revisit trauma each time you do breath work. Again, going back to what I shared before, it is going to be different for you every time. And so you're uncovering these layers. It's almost like you have all of this outerwear on top of you, and you have this blanket, and you have this coat underneath that, and you have a sweater underneath that, and you have a long sleeve shirt underneath that, and you have a t-shirt underneath that, and you have a muscle shirt underneath that, and underneath that, like, that's you. That's where you are. And so every time you do breath work, you're taking these layers off, and the body starts remembering, okay, we're gonna breathe, we're gonna get stressed out, that's okay, and it's okay to face this trauma. So the results are not immediate. You're not going to cure everything in one breathwork session. It does take some time to do it. If you're really looking to clear and align your energy with joy and clarity, then the chakra balancing breathwork journey might be what you're looking for. So in this chakra balancing breathwork journey, it's an 11 session journey that I take you through with a framework to help you clear chakra by chakra with breath work, with Reiki, with tarot. And the chakra balancing breathwork journey started off as a workshop, as a chakra balancing workshop. But then I combined it with breathwork so that it became the chakra balancing breathwork workshop. And then I started doing it as sessions. And so what started off as a workshop is now turned into an 11 session journey that I take you through. We go chakra by chakra, assessing from the root all the way to the crown. We go into your limiting beliefs. We go into your personal power, boundaries, all of these things that are holding you back from living the life that you want to live. Clients who have worked with me using this framework have gone from not knowing what to do in an unfulfilling job to opening their own businesses. From grieving the loss of people that they love to ultimately forgiving themselves and then trusting themselves enough to move to a different city. I've had clients who have released creative blocks using this framework of the chakra balancing breathwork journey. So if you want to know more about the chakra balancing breathwork journey, the details are in the description box below. You can do this both in person or online. The next thing that you need to know about using breathwork for emotional release or for healing trauma is that you can use other tools alongside breathwork. So breathwork is really great. It helps you release these deep emotions, but I do feel like sometimes we need a little bit of extra help. So one of my favorite ways to do that is to write a goodbye letter and burn it. So tear it up and burn it. So I talk about this in a video, and I'll link to that below as well. But when we write a goodbye letter, that kind of helps to close the chapter on something that we have experienced. It can be a goodbye letter to a person, place, or thing. I've written goodbye letters to my codependency, and it's really helped me release some feelings that I have about being somebody who was really stuck in a lot of codependent relationships, like multiple codependent relationships. But also, on the back side of the letter, you would write a letter back from that person, place, or thing to you. Now, this isn't so that you can talk to this person, place, or thing. It's more like this is bringing you closure. So on one side of the letter, you write all the things that you wish you could say to this person, place, or thing, like anything. It could be like, fuck you, I hate you for doing this to me. You know, this is what you took from me. This is what happened as a result of our relationship or a result of our experience. And then you say goodbye to it. Then on the opposite side, you turn it over. And this is the part where the closure comes in, because this part is from that person, place, or thing to you, saying all the things that you deserve to hear. Things like, I'm sorry, you deserve better. I should have never done that to you. You should have never been put in that position. This is what I stole from you, and I'm so sorry, and you deserve better. And so that's the way my goodbye letters go. Now, I learned this process through my breathwork teacher, John Paul Crimmy, who I went to learn breathwork from, so I could teach breathwork. However, this isn't the only way that you can use different kinds of tools to help you release emotions alongside using breathwork. So you can also use tarot, you can also use journaling, you can also talk to a therapist, you can also get into the body and move. But if the thought of using tarot and oracle alongside breathwork piques your interest, then you're going to want to come back for next week's video, because I'm going to talk about how to use tarot and oracle intentionally. So often we use tarot and oracle, we think about it as a divination tool, which you can use it for, but I love to use tarot and oracle as self-discovery tools, and I also love to use it intentionally. So come back next week so that you can watch that. But in the meantime, I hope that this video was helpful for you, and if something did resonate, be sure to leave me a comment and let me know. I love doing videos about breathwork and tarot, so if you're not subscribed, then go ahead and click on that subscribe button so that you can find more videos from me. And if you want to find out more about breathwork, then you're going to want to watch the breathwork playlist here. That's it for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.